afternoon, Rohit.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sanjay. So, Rohit, we will now begin and will ask you to give a brief introduction about yourself.
Sir, my name is Rohit Sanjay Pawar. I came from Dhule district of Northern Maharashtra. I have done my graduation in BSc Geology. My hobbies include practicing Anapana meditation, drawing pencil sketches and cartoons, and following and analyzing Test cricket.
Right. Uh, Rohit, you are from Maharashtra. Now, Maharashtra being one of the strongest state economies, it has a challenge of balancing economic growth with ecological sustainability. Now, presently, the situation is not so good in terms of the environmental sustainability. Now, you can't afford to bring down your economic growth also. You are aiming for 1 trillion. Now, how do we balance it? You being aiming for the Indian Forest Service. What is your proposal? What are your uh, various points that you would like to suggest?
Sir, we have to follow a balanced path and we have to consider environment as a essential component of the development. For that, we need to ensure that the minimal impact is on environment while conducting developmental activity. And for that, we have certain provisions like compensatory afforestation or newer technologies like relocation of trees. However, these initiatives have some limitations, but at the same time, we for the development, we have to continue exploitation of the resources from the nature. So, in my opinion, we should follow a balanced path while ensuring minimal environmental impact.
Good. So, Rohit, you being a geologist, and you have suggested that one should not exploit. Now, there is always, I've been in the administrative service, and I was in tourism for a long period. There was always a tussle between mining and forest, tussle between tourism and forest. Now, to what extent do you think, and mining is something related to economic growth, and so is tourism. Now, these two areas, they always clash with forest. And there have been meetings in which the chief secretary will blast at both of them that you are protecting your own departments, not bothering about the state as a whole. Now, how far you think mining should be allowed vis-a-vis development of forest or retention of forests?
Sir, certainly mining has some impact on environment, but we need to continue it to fulfill our resource need and to become a developed country. While conducting mining operations, we can ensure that we must prefer underground mining over open cast mining, as open cast has problem of debris and certain. We need to follow certain SOPs regarding mining closures while refurbishing land with the forestation after closure, and we need to ensure that mining should be on renewable energy resources. Apart from that, the water needs of the mining can be used in a recyclable manner. So in that way, we can ensure minimal impact on environment.
Good. Rohit, my last question to you. I saw from your DAP that as a NSS volunteer, you had visited some tribal villages also. Now, my question is again conflicting objectives. The government, in its policy, both at national and state level, says that we must try to mainstream the tribal population, bring them into mainstream of development. But there, it can hurt forests. So, if you tinker with their lifestyle, it will hurt forests. If you don't, then their level of development remain the same. So, what kind of strategy you would like to follow as a forest officer if you are posted in some tribal district which is dense forest also?
Sir, for the development, we need to consider the actual needs of the tribal firstly. What are their needs? And accordingly, we plan developmental activities. Like if there is a need of the road passage to dense forest, we should ensure that that road is having minimal impact and it is not a concrete based or tar based road, and it has it has conducted in sustainable manner. And for the development initiatives, we should follow a path of uh, eco-friendly development where tribal products such as minor forest produce being marketed to greater extent, and they ensure sustainable livelihood of tribals at their own place instead of following an idea of urbanized development, which should cater local needs.
Okay. Thank you, Rohit. I pass on to our member, honorable member, Shri Kanji.
Uh, Rohit, you tell me what is the relevance of geology as a subject?
Sir, geology deals with origin, evolution, and internal structure of the earth. Geology has wider applications in the human life, such as it um, makes availability of mineral resources and crude oil. It has a certain impact over hydrological conditions of the area, and understanding of it will allow humans to its judicial use. Geology has also bearing on forest as well, because the species selection of the plantation program depends on soil factors, and the soil conservation and water conservation initiatives have a greater bearing of geology.
Is there any difference between water table and water level?
Yes, sir, there is a difference, but I am not actually aware of the exact definitions.
Okay. Do you feel any vegetation or part of trees, they help in identifying the mineral deposits in particular area?
Uh, yes, sir. There are some species, depending on their nature. If there is a depletion of certain minerals, they show different behavior as compared to normal growth. Or if there is a excessiveness of certain mineral resources, then species show abnormal growth. But there are some, but I am not exactly remember names. But there is some species which is used in Australia for location of gold resources and copper resources.
Why Vidarbha area of Maharashtra is drought hit and farmers distress? What is the reason?
Sir, for the drought issue, uh, the underlying terrain rock of the Maharashtra is a basalt, and it has very less water conductivity. Despite having a large number of dams, the groundwater percolation is minimal. Secondly, the monsoon behavior is erratic in Maharashtra. Maharashtra receives most of its rainfall in 3 months, and it's erratic in nature. And for the farmers' distress, sir, there is a reason such as indebtedness of farmers to non-institutional debtors, creditors, and there is also a social reason about excessive spending on social events which enhance indebtedness, and the cropping pattern of the certain areas is too much water intensive, and it reduces the productivity of land as well.
Okay. Recently, we had a um, means disruption in civil aviation by Indigo Airlines in 2 months back. Okay. Okay. What do you think? What was the reason for that?
Mm, Sir, I'm not able to recollect exact reason.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you, Rohit.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay. So, Rohit, you are from Maharashtra. Tell me the mangroves present there.
Uh, Maharashtra has extensive mangrove cover, and Maharashtra also has a state mangrove species, Sonarchia alba. Apart from that, Maharashtra also has a home to certain mangrove species like Avicennia, Rhizophora, and Heartiest as well. Mangroves perform the role of a buffer from the cyclones and tsunamis, and it also has a regulatory role in pollution control, and it's a source of livelihood for the local community.
Okay, in the recent Test cricket match, who do you think has rised in their strength, and who do you think has reduced in their strength? Which country, I mean?
Uh, Country-wise, ma'am, the South Africa has emerged one of the best playing Test cricket playing nations recently. And if we talk about reducing strength, and then it will be India. In past, India were performing well, and we were reaching to the World Test Championship finals. But currently, we are at the bottom of the table.
So, what do you think India can do about it?
Currently, ma'am, India is going to transition phase and because of retirement of certain Test cricketers like Virat Kohli, Ravi Ashwin, and Rohit Sharma. So India is finding their replacements, and apart from that, India needs to judge their young players on the basis of domestic performances in first-class cricket instead of IPLs and limited over cricket.
So, you are made your graduation in geology. I think you are made for forest service. But tell me, what innovative method that Rohit would bring from the existing forest management issues?
Can I take a moment? Ma'am, as a geologist, I would like to propose a certain measures in a forest management, such as in a water conservation area. We have a local system of water conservation called as a FOD in my district, which include the series of check dams in a forest area, which will reduce the soil erosion and increase the water table of the terrain. Secondly, ma'am, the knowledge of soil profile will certainly help while selecting certain species for plantation, such as in black cotton soil, the deep-rooted plant species will be helpful to their survival. And thirdly, ma'am, I would like to engage with the tribal communities through increasing bond with the forest department, as the tribals has a major role to play in forest conservation and its sustainability.
Why did you choose this Anapana meditation? There is something called Vipassana and lots of things. How this Anapana meditation is different and why did you choose it?
Ma'am, Anapana meditation is the first step towards the Vipassana. Vipassana is a larger concept which deals with the purification of mind, while the Anapana is a technique to concentrate our mind on while using our breath. So Anapana is a lays foundation for the Vipassana itself. Though I choose Anapana because the practicing Vipassana takes at least 1 hour a day. So in daily 1 hour practice is not feasible in current schedule. Anapana can be done within the 10 minutes. So I chose Anapana.
Rohit, there are a lot of movies or there are issues that are concerning the forest department harassing the tribal people. Okay, what is your take on that, and what do you think it's happening, and what we should do about it?
Yes, ma'am. In certain cases, it is a reality that tribals being harassed by the forest officer, but it is not. It is not. We cannot generalize it. Uh, to solve the issue of the harassment of the tribals by forest officials, we need to decrease the trust deficit between forest officials and tribals, because tribals often see forest department as encroachment over their traditional lands. Secondly, ma'am, there are disputes regarding forest rights acts in certain states. We need to clarify or settle the rights of the tribal, and the due justice to be given to them. The third point, ma'am, we need to ensure the local tribal need livelihood shall be ensured, because of reserve and protected forest areas, the livelihoods of the tribals being hampered, and we need to ensure alternative livelihood opportunities for them.
My last question is, which cartoon do you like the most about?
Uh, there are few cartoons which I like on the watching. One is Mickey Mouse by Walter Disney, and second one is Ninja Hattori by Fujiko Fujio.
Thank you, sir. What you sir? Thank you, Rohit.
So, Rohit, your capability of analyzing test cricket, I'll ask one question. Now, what do you think, in your opinion, uh, some of the players, they are very good in test cricket, but not so good in shorter format. For example, Shubman Gill. Why do you think India chooses, specialist for a particular format? This is a recent trend? A good cricketer will be a good cricketer. What do you say?
Sir, Test cricket had its own demand, such as patience, perseverance, cool temperament, and emphasis on batting technique. So, in limited over crickets, and a batsman can survive uh, by playing unconventional shots. While in Test cricket, the ball movement is more, so emphasis on technique is required. Second, temperament plays a huge role, because Test cricket innings last for 1 day or 1.5 day. To survive those grind, we need a certain kind of patience and perseverance. So that's why certain players are unable to survive.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All the best. You may leave
Thank you,
now.
sir.